So welcome to What Moves Her. We are here today with the wonderful Joe to talk about embracing change and finding your value. So when we were talking this morning, I was getting tons of texts about people who couldn't make it because we have a hurricane, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And
And sometimes in real estate, we go through these bad storms, right?
all
We
the
feel our bad
time.
storms, right?
9 times. I counted the other day. I think I have been through 9 recessions.
Yeah, there you go. And when those storms come, right, they tell you on the news, they tell you to prepare, get your flashlights, get
And
your
make it
water,
worse.
right?
Yeah.
Don't we kind of do that in real estate as well?
Yeah, we do.
Right? And so I think yesterday in the town hall, we talked about how we have really worked hard to prepare you with the form changes, with the NAR settlement, right? How do you feel that this hurricane that we're going through today, right,
Yeah.
really impacts agents?
Well, I think I said a little bit about it yesterday. Is I really find it interesting that when COVID hit, now that we're going through this, you saw these definitive differences in how agents handled it. And you had a lot of agents that just shut down. Oh no, this is terrible. The world is coming to an end. What are we gonna do? And that is a very, very normal response. That's what we all do when we have a piece of change. Have y'all ever noticed that when something is changing, you're like, no, don't want to do that. And it's really interesting because your brain wants to keep you comfy, right? So it starts telling you all this crazy stuff. And that's what happens. And so the question is, who can look at this and go, how can I make lemonade out of lemons here? And let me say, clearly, it's y'all. Because I did a study many years ago about the behaviors of really successful agents. And one of them was they showed up. And they showed up for training opportunities. And so congrats to all of you who came through a hurricane to be here. So it's the same type of thing. Okay, I have an opportunity here. There is an opportunity for me to stand up and be a professional, for me to reach out to my customers and educate them. There's so much information out there. A lot of it's wrong. You have to stand as the wisdom in the room and call people and talk to them.
You know, the settlement for the Triangle area, the MLS compensation came out on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Brings a lot of angst.
It does.
You know, change always does that. I think we fear it. We fear the word change, I think.
Oh, we
right?
do.
And so really, you know, since you've been doing this so long, you've seen so many changes in real estate. Really, what do you think goes on in that realtor's head?
So what happens is a piece of information comes into your brain, okay? And that piece of information gets processed and it asks the question, good or bad? Is this good or is this bad? And if it's bad, then there's an emotion that's connected. You start feeling angst, your heart rate may go up. And all of us ask the same question. Who's to blame for this? Why did this happen? Then your brain, in order to help you feel comfy, starts saying stuff to you. And it starts saying all kinds of crazy stuff. Let me give you an example. I always preferred prospecting face-to-face. I always was better face-to-face than I was on a telephone. For whatever reason, I froze up on phones, but I did really good when I was talking to somebody. So open houses were my jam. And then one day I figured out I can probably make this better if I will do a tell 20. Do we still call it tell 20s? Okay. That we do a tell 20, where you go and you knock on people's doors and you talk to them, say, I'm representing so-and-so, and I wanted to make sure that you came and you handed them a flyer, et cetera, et cetera. And so I was ready. I had talked to other agents that did it. I knew what I needed to do. I had my flyers ready. I looked good. I was dressed professional. I had on my name tag, right? All was cranking here. I drive into the neighborhood. I get out. And I'm going up to my first house when I think, I heard there was a serial killer around here. hit my head. And I went, okay, no. Yeah, it's going to be dangerous for you to knock on a door. Really, it's going to be dangerous. Anybody want to guess what I did?
You still did it.
We got back in your car.
I got back in my car. Exactly what I did. And when I went back into the office, I said, no, I didn't do it. I was very fortunate. We talked this morning about, I believe, and I've already said it, show up. And that includes your office. And right now, past COVID, post-COVID, you've isolated yourself. And so now you're very accustomed to having your home office, et cetera, et cetera. But showing up and talking to your peers and having peers that you can depend on and call and say, I can walk up to the door, who can talk you off the ledge. And I'll never forget the agent who said to me, girl, there's no serial killers there, really. There's not. So let's talk about safety. And she walked me through safety. And she walked me through this idea of you ring the doorbell and then you back down the steps. So you have a distance and, you have all of those things. And so she walked me through safety precautions. And then I had somebody else that heard us talking and came in and said, try saying this, and completely switched my brain about what to say. So instead of saying, I'm having an open house and I was wondering, I started saying to people, hey, I'm helping your neighbor sell their house. And I was wondering, when the perfect buyer comes along, what do you want them to know about this neighborhood? In other words, I had an open-ended question where I started a conversation. And they wanted to help because are people helpful? Yes, people are helpful. And so they would want to help. And then at the end of it, I would say, have y'all thought about moving in the next couple of years? Or maybe. Well, then this selling of this house will be really important. May I send you information on it when it sells? Who do you know that needs a secure and competent real estate agent now? Let's dissect that for a minute. What made that work? Tell me what made that work. I asked them about what's great about their neighborhood.
Well, they care about it.
They care about their neighborhood, right? And do they care about the people moving in? Yeah, of course they do. All right, what else worked in that conversation?
You listen.
I listened to them. I wrote down what they said, which is what? Active listening, where it appears to them that what they said is important. I thought it was important. So that's another piece that's really big in there. What was the other piece?
You weren't pushy.
I wasn't pushy. I wasn't. And did I ask prospecting questions? What 2 prospecting questions did I ask? You remember?
Are they thinking about selling in the next 2 years?
Yeah. Are y'all thinking about selling in the next couple of years?
And if you could reach out to them.
And can I reach out to you? And then what was the other one?
Do you know if
Thank you. Who do you know that needs security and competent? Notice that I don't ever ask, do you know somebody? Why?
no, they'll say no.
It's a yes or no question. And why did that conversation help me knock on doors easier? What made that easier? My brain said to me, I'm helping other people instead of helping myself. And so that's what happened with change for me when I was trying something new. That's what was happening. Anytime something new happens, you go, I'll react to them moving my favorite food in the grocery store. I hate it. Does anybody else hate it? Yeah, I hate it. And so, something that simple, I find myself reacting to it. That is normal. That is how we are wired. That is what we do. The key to it is hearing it in your brain and going, wait a second. We're not going to change it because we're wired that way. but we can be the boss of it. So when you hear something like that, you can say to yourself, oh, wait a second. That's not true. That's not true. What really is true? Maybe I'll get a listing from knocking on the door. Or maybe I'll just have fun.